Our next question as we proceed talking about emotional reset is how can emotions be managed? How do we manage emotions? And can we really manage emotions? Now, raising of hands, please. How many are you in the room had moments when you just lost your temper? Can you help me? How many can raise their hands? Have you lost your temper? One point or another? I did. I had. Now, at a certain point, we reacted awfully to our situation instead of responding. But not to Thomas Edison. When the laboratory he built, half of his life caught fire one December night. And when we all know who Thomas Edison is, right? He had this gigantic laboratory, which is like twice as big as a stadium. And it had served as the mecca for scientists. People go there. He lived his life there. Then all of a sudden, natupok po ito ng napakalaking um, fire, nasunog. And when he was found watching the whole thing happen, somebody interviewed him at tinanong siya, Thomas, how are you feeling? Ito yung life work mo. With the green, may konting ngiti sa kanyang mukha. Ang sagot daw po niya, and this was documented, well, go call your mothers. This might be the biggest fight they'll ever see. And then he said it calmly. How can you do that? Not to Nelson Mandela, right? He's one person who has, of course, a leader. We know him to be the president of presidents. He was imprisoned for 25 years. I had the opportunity to read his life book entitled Long Walk to Freedom. At pag binasa mo yung autobiography niya yun, makikita mo, mararamdaman mo na he's one person who has a very high accountability. Nung meron siyang confrontation with his daughter, dahil kini-question ng daughter niya yung kanyang decision kung bakit yung mga taong nagpakulong sa kanya, siya pa rin yung kasama niya nung siya na ang presidente ng South Africa. At ang sagot niya, swept me off my feet. Ang sabi niya, well, yung pagkakabilanggo ko ng 25 years, hindi nila kasalanan. 50% of it, sabi niya, ay nagagawan ko because I did not give up my principle. They were in the position at that time politically to do what they did. So I was able to experience the experience I had. But it doesn't mean that it's their fault. Right? Not to Bill Gates. Of course, medyo fun po ngayon si Bill Gates. Laman siya ng ating mga feeds because of the divorce, right? But there's this astonishing Bill Gates story that I've seen sa Netflix during in his documentary, where a guy threw a cake sa mukha niya on his way to a conference. Bata pa si Bill Gates noon. But he's rich already. People are like putting him in the magazine as one of the richest people in the world, and somebody just a stranger, just throw the cake on his face. And when he was interviewed later about how he felt, how he answered? Ang sagot niya, well, obviously, that man is angry, but I don't have to participate in his anger. How can these people do it? How can these people manage their emotions? And this picture you're seeing right now is, of course, my top favorite. His name is Arnel Aba. He's a Filipino. He's an amputee who won a triathlon, right? He's one person who had managed his situation and obviously credibly managed his emotions. This was taken 2013 and it went viral. When Arnel Aba was asked, bakit siya sumali sa isang competition na para dun sa mga taong walang kakulangan sa katawan. You know what he said? Well, hindi ko nakikita ni isang araw sa buhay ko na may kulang sa akin. So I went on anyway. So wala siyang pity party. Wala siya nun. So looking at Thomas Edison, at Nelson Mandela, at Bill Gates, at Arnel Aba, parang sabi ko, there must be something that is common to these people na ba-manage nila yung emotions nila, and they have inspired me on a personal level. And what I believe that they have in common is what we call, for my next slide, this is responsibility. Their response ability is as high as the sky, right? Kitang-kita natin yung kanilang response. Ano ba 'tong sinasabi nating responsibility or ating response over reaction? I think you've heard that. But just to share few information on what is response and reaction. Kasi ang kaharap mo pag nagre-responde ka, yung react. Well, of course, reaction is automatic. Hindi natin iniisip. Parang autopilot natin, no? Unconscious. While response is thought out. It's conscious, pinag-iisipan, and the great thing there is, it's a choice we make. Now, my part of this day's session is to share with you how, this is my how can we manage our emotions? There has to be a science behind it. Para pag nagkwento ka sa mga apo mo, nagkwento ka sa mga estudyante mo, ng paano ka nag-reset, paano po tayo nakapag-reset, masasabi natin na meron tayong mga pinag-ukulan ng pansin sa ating mga responses, sa ating mga decisions. At ito yung sinasabi natin na pagmamanage natin ng ating responses. Or it will lead to our core, yung control, yung ating what we call ownership, yung reach na pinaparating na pinapadama natin sa problema, at yung endurance natin. And all of this are actually inspired by Paul Stoltz, okay, sa kanyang libro na Adversity Coaches. So